So, Mark, did you see the extravaganza show at Bally's? It looks like it's right up my alley. I could be a Vegas performer dancing on the New York roller coaster. Like, what the heck is this? This is Vegas
I
entertainment these
thought
days.
when I saw it, I thought it was like America's Got Talent, like that's going to get the four X's or whatever and kicked off the stage. Like those people that they just throw in there, even though they know below, and they're like, okay, we'll let them do it. Just add a little comedy into the show. Like it was so bad. They've canceled so many shows. Caesars has closed like all their small shows, and then they have this garbage out there. I don't know. Maybe it's really cheap. I guess.
I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh on the performers, Mark. I know a lot of these people are talented. They come from other places. Apparently, some of the stuff in this show comes from Wow, which was another variety show at Rio. But glad the performers are there. Dancing on a roller coaster, not, I don't know. It's strange. It's strange entertainment, but that's
It
Vegas
wasn't
these
even good
days.
dancing. It was just like flopping and spinning on a floor.
All right, Mark, let's get into the show. But before we do, just want to remind everybody out there, don't forget to subscribe. Hit us up in the comments. We want to discuss any of these topics with you guys, and smash the thumbs up button if you like. We really appreciate the support. This show is brought to you by Travel Freely. It's our recommended tool for travel hacking, for miles and points, tracking all of your spending. Basically, learn how to travel for free. TravelFreely.com. We've been using it for a long time. We have a review on the website and links here if you guys want to sign up. It's a free tool. Basically, show you how to utilize travel hacking techniques to travel for free, something we do all the time. We're actually going to talk about status matches a little bit later as well. So stick around for that. But let's talk about G2E, Mark. That's the Global Gaming Conference. And I was there this week, and it was pretty crazy. Robotic, count rooms, tunnels of slot machines, so much going on. Did you see any of the coverage of it?
Yeah, I saw the tunnel slots and I saw those starting to pop up in the last couple weeks, and it reminds me of arcade games, like when you get in those things and you're flying a ship or whatever, and it surrounds you with lights and kind of all encompassing feeling to it. And I think that's what they're trying to go at with the slots, which we've talked about with these claw games and everything else. They're trying to bring the arcade into the casino to get the younger crowd and all that. So I think that's just more of the same. It looks really cool. I don't know if it would like, wear you down with all the bright colors if you sat in there for too long, like tire you out, but it does seem cool. I just wonder how much more are they than like a regular game? Are they going to get the payback? I don't know if it makes sense business wise, but I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, Aristocrat created those tunnel slot machines, and they have on the show floor. They had three of them next to each other. So they had a fish game, they had the buffalo game, and then they had the dune game. And putting three of these side by side is really cool. I'll put some video up here. I really enjoy it, kind of going through the tunnel. There is a version of the game, the Dune game, by itself on the Palazzo Casino floor as well. So you get to see what it looks like out in the real world. This is the first slot machine that's ever being released at the same time as the movie. So it has all of the sort of branding for the Dune movie. And I guess that's an industry first as they sort of work a lot closer together. But it is cool. It's cool to see it. And I know a lot of people on Twitter were impressed by it. And it looks like the future of slot machines. To your point, these things take up a lot more real estate on the floor, a lot of screens, a lot of expense. They can't be cheap. So the
So
payouts
the
aren't going to be
payouts
good.
suck.
Yeah, yeah. The
So
payouts
if you
are,
want to donate money to sit in a light show, there you go, I guess.
but it is cool. I mean, I don't know. I saw on Palazzo's floor. I saw people constantly playing them, so I think they're going to be popular. And I do hope some casinos put multiple of these next to each other to kind of create that tunnel effect that Aristocrat had in their booth. Because I really liked it. I did a lot of media tours. I went all around. I'm going to have a video a little later, hopefully on the weekend, just a quick video of my favorite things at the conference, including, some of the interesting cashless tech, some of the electronic table games tech. It was quite interesting, a lot of what's going on there. I didn't go over like a lot of the new games and stuff, but I did go over a lot of the tech. So I do want to let everybody know that there is a video coming. But the other kind of interesting piece of tech I saw was a robot that replaces human beings in the count room of casinos. This robot takes in the boxes, it opens up the cash, it counts the cash, it inputs it into accounting software, does it all automatically. The mobsters are rolling over in their graves, I think. No more
This is
easy
how
skim in Vegas.
this is how Terminator 2 started. They will be taking over the world.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy when you think about it. But yeah, I wonder if they'll have any glitches or get hacked and then mess up the counts or what. Who knows? Nothing seems secure these days on the when it involves technology. But it seems kind of crazy. Sad that people would be losing their job, but kind of unique to see. I mean,
The most bizarre thing was the way that they sold it. Always trying to, this is an industry conference, so it's for the casinos, and so they're trying to talk about efficiencies. So of course they talk about maybe saving on labor costs, but they also talked about how horrible of a job it has to be in a count room for a human being, because there's no windows and locked in there and all this stuff. And so this machine, this robot, is here to save those poor human beings who work in count rooms right now. Not sure if I buy that completely, but it's technology.
Now they can go to the cashier cage and count out money there. I guess.
I guess. I mean, it's cool that it counts the money and it does it automatically into the accounting software. So it's double checking everything and it's doing it automatic. I can see the value in this. There was other robots there, all kinds of other tech. There's all kinds of like digital wallets on display there. I'm not quite sure how all this stuff is going to work together, but stick around for that video later this week. There are some interesting things I want to show you guys from the floor, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. I did some sleuthing to try to find some interesting things from my own perspective, not necessarily like just the coolest new slot machines, because I don't know about you, Mark, but they all tend to look the same to me. I went from manufacturer to manufacturer, and they're talking about this cabinet and that cabinet and how this one performs and that one performs. And it's just little tweaks that they're making to these cabinets at this point. They all have these giant screens. They all have the same sort of things, and they all look almost the same. But just a little tiny tweak will make a machine perform much better compared to a different one. And that's what this whole gaming industry is all about. Well, at least until sports betting takes over, which is also happening.
Yeah, I mean, you push a button, it spins, it makes bells and whistles, and you usually lose. But so it.
Well, I think there's more to that. You're going to trigger them.
But it's like a slot machine's a slot machine. I mean, some have cooler bonuses or whatever. I mean, I don't know. They get taller, they get bigger. Now they're a tunnel. That's the way the expanse is going. Maybe I don't know what the next move is. Maybe you sit in water while you play it. That makes no sense, but that's where they're going.
What will they think of next? Yeah, gambling while underwater. Okay, well, Mark won't charge you guys for that idea if you take it. You can have that.
You might get electrocuted and die, but besides that, it'll be great.
All right, so we did talk about travel hacking with Travel Freely at the beginning of the show. We have 2 updates on sort of status match offers. We talked about Circa last week. I got even more confirmation this week. Caesar's Diamond is matching to Circa's Maverick status, which doesn't have a whole lot of perks other than free parking, which is a big perk downtown because everywhere charges, especially if you're going during the busier times. I think a lot of the lots are up to $20-25 on the weekends. So if you do have Diamond status through gambling or through Founders Card or through matching with Wyndham, that Caesar's Diamond will get you Maverick status, or at least we have a few data points of that. And then the other thing, Mark, was Wynn kind of backtracked a little bit. I got a message or a comment on one of the videos on YouTube that somebody's status had been downgraded from Wynn, and I went and logged into my account, and my status was downgraded back to the red status. Jasmine's status has stayed as platinum. She's gambled. I don't think I've gambled since I matched, on my card. I wonder if that has something to do with it. But Wynn is revoking that status for some people early. Not a huge deal, I guess. In my case, Jasmine got to use her birthday credit, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, check your Wynn status. They're revoking it.
Yeah, did you get to use your credit at all yet?
No, because my credit won't be till March. So I really did legitimately get screwed out of that one because now I don't even have the status anymore, and I'm not really gonna fight with them about it. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
So you just wasted a few minutes of your life. That's all. That's what we learned from this.
I did, but I wrote about it and I informed other people about it. So it's sort of my job to do it. So I guess I win in that way. But other than getting the physical platinum card for a couple months and getting to brag about it here on the show, I don't think I got any benefit, but it is what it is. I hope everybody out there gets, got to use their credit and they're not downgraded like me.
I wonder if the credit's like attached to your account versus the status. Like if you go back there in March, if it will still work, like it's registered in there, or I don't know if it's you have to have the status to be able to get the credit on your birthday month. I'm not sure how that works.
I think you do have to have the status, and I think it's sort of manual for a lot of people because you have to stay there in order to use it. If you're not from Vegas, if you're a local, they allow you to use it, and then you have to go to the desk and they attach it. So I don't think it'll work outside of that. But I wasn't expecting it because it was only supposed to last. The status was only supposed to last through the end of the year, and my birthday's in March, so I wasn't really expecting it anyway. It sucks that they took it away anyway because I love my status, and now I'm one less status to go. But good, I do need to get down to Circa. I do need to match that for the free parking, and yeah, let us know if you
Yeah,
guys have any other data points on these matches.
I think if you're a local, or if you usually rent a car when you go to Vegas, or if you're coming from California and driving and stuff, that's definite go match. I probably won't because I never drive anywhere there, so I don't need the parking. But that's a big chunk of Vegas visitors, locals, and people coming from California. So it's definitely worth it to go down there, get the free parking, and one of the easier garages to get in and out of downtown. So no matter where you're going, just go park there. So I definitely get it. I'm sure it will close at some point soon.
All right, let's talk about DraftKings because I think a lot of people don't know that DraftKings is taking over the world. I mean, they have something like a crazy $20 billion valuation right now with their stock. In Michigan, we've talked about the apps. They're huge there. They're expanding not only with sports betting, which a lot of people know them for, but casino apps. I think there's sports betting now legal in 32 states or in the process of being legalized. So DraftKings is really becoming huge, and they just announced their biggest expansion, their office in Vegas, which is going to be, I think, over 90,000 square feet. It's going to be in this place called the Uncommon, which is like a futuristic sort of co-working space. Did you take a look at the Uncommons? What this looks like? To me, it just looks like a bunch of office buildings surrounded by apartment buildings. But apparently, this is the future of workspaces, common areas. You can live and work in the same place. And DraftKings bringing their sort of second biggest office behind their Boston headquarters here to Vegas. Huge expansion. This company is growing like crazy. You're going to see them everywhere, all throughout the gaming industry.
I find it interesting that they built it in Vegas because they're not in Nevada, and maybe that's a precursor that they think they're going to be, or that will open up somewhat. I mean, I know Vegas is like gambling mecca of the U.S., but it's not sports betting app mecca of the U.S. So it was kind of a unique, interesting decision on their part. So I have to feel like that was on purpose, and something's coming in the future, or at least they think it's going to.
Yeah, they bought Golden Nugget, if you remember, I believe the online version, and I think that they're working to get in here. And I think Vegas is a huge expansion for them. And again, in Michigan, they are a casino, right? So I think that their aspirations are huge, and Vegas probably a big market for them to get into. Plus,
DraftKings is gonna buy Planet Hollywood.
There you go. Okay, so let's talk about that. I was in a press conference with Jim Allen, the CEO of Hard Rock, the Seminole Hard Rock, and he said blatantly that they are not buying Planet Hollywood. So just so you know, that's not happening. So if Planet Hollywood's for sale, we don't know who's going to buy them, but
they're going to buy Virgin back in like 6 months when it fails.
Yeah, he did. He mentioned that property. That's a property that they never owned, right? When they bought Hard Rock, the whole brand, that was a property that already had exclusive, it already had existed and it already had arrangements. So the Seminoles never had anything to do with it. And he did say he was happy to see some investment going into that property. But yeah, I mean, I could see that happening if the Virgin Hotels experiment doesn't work. But he did say they are looking for opportunities in Vegas, but it has to be the right one, the right price, all that sort of stuff. So, and he did blatantly say no Planet Hollywood, which I'm
means
guessing,
it's definitely happening.
Yeah, maybe. No, I mean, I think
speak is always the opposite.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
perhaps.
That's just sports GMs. That's how
I got the feeling that he wanted to make a message, make it very clear that they're not buying Planet Hollywood. And I think that it probably makes the most sense for them if you just look at the properties. So what could they do? Could they potentially build something themselves? I mean, we know that there's land and opportunity for that. And it's not like the prices of existing places are cheap. So it's good to know that they're still in the market, but they want a deal. And are there any deals right now? We don't know. But it was cool to get that little bit of information. I'm glad you brought up Planet Hollywood because I forgot to put it in the in the rundown. All right, Mark. In other news, the MSG Sphere, the big ball that we all love to hate, announced some new stuff. They're going to be topping off the roof by the end of this year. Still, over $1.8 billion. Still going to be a while before it's finished, but it is, it's coming along, and you can see. Here's some review journal footage of it, but you can see that the screens are coming on the outside. They're putting that wrap on it. It does look pretty cool. I mean, this is a project I'm still excited about. We know that the price tag is insane. Who knows if they're going to make their money back? But that doesn't matter to us. It's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it seemed like the LED lights were like confirmed in the bit I read about it. Like they're like, oh, and then we're gonna put LED lights on the outside. So I know everybody's sad about that, but
well, it's a 580,000 square foot programmable LED lighting is what they call it. So
yeah, laser show.
Yeah. So it isn't the screen. So who knows? I mean, but it does seem to be covering the entire outside. So yeah, it's not really clear what it's going to look. Is it going to look like the Sphere at Resorts World, which is basically a screen, right? And that looks really cool and high quality. Is it going to be like that, or is it going to be like those sort of LEDs they put on the outside of buildings 10 years ago, where you could barely kind of read the letters, or is it going to be something like we see on Resorts World on the outside to that quality, or we see on the Raiders Stadium or T-Mobile Arena? Let's hope it's like that, but it does look like it's going to be like that. So let's hope. But they do keep saying LED
for $2 billion. It should be.
Yeah, well, let's hope it looks cool.
I mean, I wonder in the inside, is it going to look? I feel like the pictures I've seen of the inside, it just looks like any concert hall. Like it doesn't feel special. The outside of the building will probably look cool, and it'll be kind of like a thing you see from the airplane or driving into town, or from your window at your room. But I feel like once you get inside, it's going to be like, oh, really? This was $2 billion. It's just a stage and seats. It doesn't feel all that special. So I don't know. I don't think it'll pay off, but I'm always a skeptic.
I'm glad to hear that it's being finished, and it does look really cool. And you can see it from everywhere. The angles are surprising. All the places that I've seen it from, you kind of look up. I was at Venetian yesterday, of course. In that whole area around Wynn and Venetian Resorts World, you can see it really well. But I've seen it from City Center and from just about everywhere else. It just pops up. So it is going to be a huge addition to the skyline, and it's moving along. A quick update on Resorts World. One of the things I saw at G2E was a lot of providers talking about how they're going to use the apps to really interface with their customers. And Resorts World, of course, they launched their cashless system to launch, and they're already doing that. I got an offer this week, $15 free play popped up in my notifications on my phone. I'm not a big fan of leaving these apps on the phone. I actually left the Resorts World app on my phone purposely just to see if this stuff would happen. So they're starting to do those marketing offers, just another way for them to reach you. But also look out for Resorts World for $15 in free play, Mark. Big money.
There you go.
Coming my way. No free hotel rooms.
And I think it's interesting that they give you like a debit card, and they sent you a flyer that says you can load at all these places like 7-Eleven and stuff. So I don't know what their game plan is on that aspect. Like, are they trying to get into like being a de facto type of banking system for people? As an option for like the unbanked can use this as like a debit card kind of thing.
So I asked them yesterday, the company behind this debit card, because they are the only ones really, I think, doing a debit card solution. Everybody else is just going to like a virtual wallet, or at least as far as I could tell. And I asked him, I brought up the email specifically about the ways to load the vanilla reloads and all of that stuff. I said, are you guys going for unbanked? Like, what are you trying to do here? And they basically said, we just want to give customers every way possible to load the card. So I don't think they've thought a lot about it, honestly. I just think that this is the way that they figured they could bring it to market. They did call it Cashless 1.0, the Resorts World version. I saw much more robust systems on display at G2E that work a lot better. Global payments, they have a cool system where you can put a Bluetooth thing on, or an NFC reader on existing machines, and everything works with their app, and they can co-brand apps with the casinos, but you can move money seamlessly through any casino, and they don't have to have specific tech, and they can retrofit everything. So I think that'll be the future. This sort of locking you into an account with a debit card, having to go in person to sign up for it, it's sort of maybe a stopgap. There's a lot of transition going on there. But if you want to look at offers, I mean, these apps on one side they're going to be tracking you because Resorts World no doubt is tracking me through their app, but also this is a way for them to give you offers and then to see if they work. $15 is going to take a little bit more than that Resorts World to get me in there.
Next, it's gonna be a notification. Free Slurpee with your $500 reload.
There you go. Give me some free food at the food court or something else like that. But no doubt they're playing around with that. These apps are here to stay. You will have apps for your local casino. I know MGM, Caesars already have their apps, but not to this level of integration. The level of integration you're about to see, like we saw at Resorts World, where you can buy food anywhere. Rewards programs are going to be integrated into the app, being able to redeem points for merchandise, for all kinds of stuff. That's all coming to your local casino app. So stay tuned for that. What's also coming, Mark, is a brand new casino. Station Casinos kind of been teasing this for the last couple of months. About a decade ago, they released plans for Durango Station. It's in the southwest part of the valley, and now they've gone to the Clark County Commission. It only took them over a decade to get it done, and they're actually going to build this thing. As far as I know, it's only going to be called Durango.
Renderings take a lot of effort. I mean, 10 years is easy.
Hey, well, the economy might have had something to do with that as well.
True.
But yeah, it looks neat. If you know Vegas casinos, you'll know that it sort of looks like a mixture of Red Rock, which is their nice casino up in Summerlin, and Aliante, which was a casino that they built around that time, 10, 12 years ago, that's now owned by Boyd Gaming. So Station Casinos doesn't own it. It looks a lot like Aliante to me, but it's going to be a nice locals casino. It is moving forward. The renderings look decent. It's going to bring a lot more traffic to this area of the valley, but nonetheless, new casino coming. I guess that's exciting, right?
Yeah, I like the name Durango. It sounds cool, so I'm looking forward to it. The renderings look awesome. It looks pretty. We'll see if it does well. It seems all the local casinos are killing it right now, so why wouldn't you build? They probably should have built a year ago. Then they could be making some money.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And the other thing, Mark, that you can do in that area just across the freeway is IKEA. So there you go. I know you're headed out there soon. Now on our big road trip that we're going to do some point
Meatballs.
soon, where you see all the Vegas stuff, I'll take you over there so you can see where this new casino is.
I get to look at an IKEA and a patch of dirt. Cool, like it.
Yeah, IKEA, a patch of dirt, and your imagination. It's all you need to know what Durango will look like. All right, one more story, and it's back to the Strip for us. Martha Stewart coming to Las Vegas in the form of a restaurant. Not only to Las Vegas, but to your beloved Paris. Not only to Las Vegas and your beloved Paris, but to the former home of Mortorano's, your restaurant that you were one of the last people apparently to eat at a couple weeks ago. I
closed it down.
Yeah, you.
After me, they said we can't do any better. Let's close this place.
So you excited? I mean, Martha Stewart, Lisa Vanderpump under one roof, along with Gordon Ramsay. That's quite a collection of celebrities owning restaurants.
Yeah, and isn't Nobu supposed to be coming too?
Yes. Yeah, a new location in Nobu as well.
Just solidifies my statement. You can say I'm right now. Paris is the most undervalued location on the Strip. Good rooms, great property, amazing restaurants, getting even better. And I like the casino. It's very nice, very, very chill, but like pretty colors. You just feel calm when you walk in there. So I do think Paris is the most undervalued, and this just made it even better.
What's interesting is this is happening at the same time that Bally's is losing all of its restaurants. We're seeing them not renew leases for the Steakhouse, Buca di Beppo, a lot of the restaurants, and Bally's, as there's rumors that the name of that hotel could change. I know Vital Vegas tweeted out some sort of a strange Photoshop photo of it being called the Horseshoe, but that's a big rumor.
There were horseshoes here in the Cincinnati and Cleveland area back when Caesars ran them, so that name would make sense, and those properties were fine.
Yeah. Do you know how they got that? So they bought briefly Binion's Horseshoe downtown. I think it went into bankruptcy once the Binion family sort of lost it, and Caesars owned it temporarily. Very shortly did they own it for a little bit. They took the Horseshoe name, they took the World Series of Poker, and then they sold it off, and that's why Binion's is Binion's, and that's how they own the Horseshoe name plus World Series of Poker and all of that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Bally's rethemed a Horseshoe, although the only thing I've ever heard of is Vital Vegas talking about it, so I haven't heard about that than anywhere else. But clearly that's in transition as they get rid of those restaurants. Now they're bringing in all these spaces to Paris. A lot of new things happening. Now all they need is a new show at Bally's to bring this full circle, to get rid of that roller coaster dancing. Or maybe they should just create a new fancy show where you eat dinner while people dance on roller
Bring
coasters.
Friends, the parody in. So our
Yeah.
buddy Ryan Flanagan from a podcast earlier episode can work there. I'm sure people would love that show way more than a guy space cadetting on an imaginary roller coaster. But it would be nice if they did get rid of the Bally's name and then Bally's bought it so that we could have Bally's owning Bally's and it wouldn't be so confusing in Vegas anymore. That would be awesome.
But Bally's owns Tropicana, so I don't think that's going to happen. So
turn it into Bally's.
Yeah, I wonder
Bally's
if part
at the
of
Trop.
Yeah, I wonder if if part of their buying Trop was them knowing that they'll be able to get the Bally's name, or having negotiated that already. So this could already be done and just not announced. But it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if Bally's is coming in as an operator for Bally's Casino to be owned by Caesars. So who knows? But it's Caesars probably not wanting to get rid of that property either, given its location right on the corner of Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard. So a lot of changes there.
I don't know that anybody would want to buy it either, because it's so integrated with Paris. It's almost like an extension, kind of like Encore and Wynn. Who would want to have that where you're going to a competitor casino so easily? So yeah, I think they're kind of stuck with that one, no matter what they do with it.
The future Horseshoe. So we shall see a lot of new things coming, new casinos, the Sphere coming along, all this technology. I can't wait to show you guys this video, because the casino floor, you guys have been seeing it change with the electronic table games, but you have seen nothing yet. The entire casino is changing right before our eyes. I'll have that video up later this week. Don't forget to check out Travel Freely. It's completely free, a great tool. I guarantee you that it'll help you out. We definitely appreciate them. And that's going to do it for this week's show. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. Mark, enjoy your trip. See you guys next week.
Florida man, here I come.